I made ribbon candy out of this piece of steel with the Hook Bending Jig Mark II. Hey YouTube, wow, what are we doing today? Well, we're going to fix a problem that I started in one of the first videos I did of the year, which, this is the 11th. We actually have made 11 videos this year. That's pretty, that's amazing for me. Usually by now I would have had to quit. Anyway, what we're doing is we are going to fix this thing. Those of you that have been watching since I started posting will definitely remember I built this a few days ago, well, I guess it was last week now. But this was supposed to be my hook bending jig, and it failed horribly. The biggest failure, it was supposed to be adjustable, so it'd move in and out. We'd use these little dies from off the compact bender, the Harbor Freight bender. It has these two 5/8 pins. We riveted them to these two pieces of angle, and the idea was you'd slide them back and forth, and you could change to these different dies. And the problem was the pins aren't close enough. This thing weeble wobbles around, doesn't really lock. And it barely works, if it works at all. So today we are going to attempt Mark II. I'm like Iron Man. Okay, this was Hook Bending Jig Mark I. We're building Hook Bending Jig Mark II. All right, so compared to Iron Man, it's a little sad. But anyway, that's what we're doing. I've already cut some pieces, and let's get started. Okay. All right, move you in here so you can see what's going on. I'm going to discuss the plan, and you can all tell me why I'm wrong, but this is what the plan is as of now. So the idea, I've got this piece of 3x3, again it's 3/16. I don't know how I ended up with so much 3/16 angle, but anyways, we're going to put a new pin. I've already cut most of these things. We're going to new pin right here. We're going to weld it this time. We're not going to do the riveting. We're just going to weld that in place, probably with a plug weld from the other side. Then this right here, this is 1 inch by 1 inch by 0.120 hollow steel section, square tubing. And then I got a piece of 3/4 inch square bar. And what we're going to do is we're going to weld this, the square tube, to the angle. We're going to run this bar in here. We're going to take this piece, this is a piece of 3/8 by 1 flat bar. We're going to weld it vertically to this bar, and the idea is we'll put a set screw, probably just one set screw up here, maybe. Yeah, I think I just need one. I don't think I need more than one set screw. We're going to drill a hole, weld a nut, put a set screw here, and what that'll allow us to do is we'll be able to set this wherever we need, regardless of which, even the smallest die, which should be setting right in there, we'll be able to move this in to whatever we need it, lock it in place, do our little bendy, and then presto changeo, it's got to work. It has to. I'm getting ready to weld my pin into this piece of angle. This is called a plug weld. I don't normally talk about welds and what I do when I weld and that kind of stuff, but this is a plug weld. It's a really handy weld when you need to do something, attach something blindly. And in this case, because we want this die to shoulder all the way up against this plate, we'll put the weld on the back side of the pin. It would be better if this plate were a little thicker, but not too thick, because you still have to be able to, when you get in here, I have to be able to get all the way in and get real good contact between the pin and the material. This is a little bit marginal, you know, it's a little, you know, it's a little iffy, but I think it'll hold pretty well. We have the die in here actually to hold the pin perpendicular so that it's nice and square to the face of this piece of angle. So anyway, I've got it clamped up here and I'm getting ready to make this plug weld. And just like that, that's a plug weld. All right. All right, it appears to work. We, yeah, so this thing moves in and out, accommodates way more than I'll ever bend in it because it's just this little thing here is a little too fragile to bend anything too big. I got a whole bunch of this 1/8 by 1/2 strap. So yeah, all I'd have to do is close it up in there somewhere close. Doesn't have to be dead tight or anything, so you just tighten it. And then conceivably, if this were hot, look at that. It goes all the way around. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Yeah? Huh? Turn it the other way. Just like that. Uh-oh, I see a problem. Oh well, whatever. Anyway, it'll even, see, there's this. It's a 1 inch. That was, I think that was a 2.5 inch die. So all of a sudden we find ourselves in need of a even smaller one. Something like 1 inch. And then there it is. Back and forth. I think it works. I wonder if I could do a little tiny, right down to the 5/8 pin. Now naturally, yeah, a little harder to do that small diameter, but now of course this is cold, and if it were hot it would bend really, really easy. going to call that a success. The Hook Jig Mark II. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for tonight. This is the official hook bending jig Mark II. Tomorrow we will try it out. We'll put some 3/8" metal through it, give it a hot supper, and see how it performs. I do appreciate the comments. Go ahead and, you know, the YouTube stuff, the like, the share, the bells, the subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Keep it up. And until next time, bye. I made a mess out of this piece of steel with a hook bending, no. I made a mess out of this piece of steel with the new I made a mess out of this piece of steel with the hook bending jig Mark. I made a mess out of this piece of steel with the hook bending jig Mark II. There's my wife. Wave, everybody.